the shave I was craving that smells like it has to smell. Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome in for the first shave of 2020. Been looking forward to this shave for a while because I've really been wanting to use some of these products and they really didn't go with my 12 shaves of Christmas series. So to start off, I've got hot water already in the sink from the tap, about halfway full, but I'm going to warm it up even more with the kettle here. I'll start out with a little hot towel by soaking this in the warm water in the sink. It's actually hot water. In fact, it's almost too hot to wring out. We're going to be using the 3P pre-shave product tonight. This is an Italian product. You can use this as a pre-shave, a shaving cream, or a post-shave balm. I've never used it as a shaving cream or a balm, but we're going to use it as pre-shave, and I've done that before. It has the scents of camphor and peppermint, and it smells a lot like Noxzema to me. The shaving soap tonight, we're using Maggard Razor's London Barbershop. This is a scent that I fell in love with when I first purchased this product, which is the Witch Hazel and Aloe Splash in London Barbershop from Maggard's, and I love the scent of this so much that I bought the soap. For the post shave, we're going to go into Thayers Medicated Witch Hazel, and I have a note about that, a sad note when we get to that. We're going to use the product I've been most looking forward to using. I've used it before, and I just couldn't fit it in with the 12 shaves of Christmas, and this is Myrsol's Antesol. This can actually be used as a pre-shave as well. And we'll follow up with the Proraso White Balm. I'll come in with the 3P pre-shave. Now, all the products I'm using in this shave tonight seem sort of old school to me, if that makes sense. In other words, none of them are really scented, with the exception of maybe the Maggard's London Barbershop, to have a particularly pleasing scent. As the Q brothers, if you're not familiar with them, I'll link them below, said of this Myrsol Antesol, it just smells like it has to smell. And they talked about how they're kind of okay with that it smells just the way it has to smell. In other words, you're shaving, you're just using the product you need to use as post-shave. That's the most effective performance-wise, and smell is of secondary importance to you. Okay, I've kind of got that worked in, so I'm gonna go back in here and warm the towel again. Bring it out. And then I like to apply it over the pre-shave for a bit. Gently wipe off that excess pre-shave. So my face is tingling a little bit from the 3P. It's sort of a mentholated feel. Nothing heavy, just kind of a mild tingle. I really like the way it feels a lot. Again, it reminds me a lot of washing my face with Noxzema when I was a kid and a teenager. Got the Semogue 1305 boar brush that's been soaking here. We're going to be using that. We'll go in here into the Maggard's, load off of this puck, and do a face lather. Okay, I loaded the brush for about 30 seconds. Some of this, I like to call it the Forerunner lather. Some people call it the Proto lather.
Some folks call it a sling blade. I call it a kaiser blade.
Let's go in here and get our face lather started. Alright, I'm not going to try to add any water tonight. Tonight I'm using the RazoRock SLOC, which stands for Self-Lubricating Open Comb. It's a double open comb razor with the idea that the lather can go up on top of the blade and makes it easier for buffing if you go back over where you've already removed lather. So you have sort of some lather that has already been removed by the razor hanging out on top of the blade, so that if you go back where there's no lather, it does not irritate you like it might. And the razor, I have a Voskhod blade on its second use, so let's go in here with the first pass. I hope everyone had a good New Year's Eve and New Year's Day celebration. Even though our daughter was not much interested in it, my wife and I, we fixed.
You know, Ruth, you shouldn't have fixed up all these delicacies like this.
We fixed cabbage, onions, and potatoes, and black-eyed peas and filled peas. I bared down a little bit right there. Didn't let the razor do the weight, but pushed in. I have some irritation or a nick there, what to see. I apologize, I'm not up on my New Year's traditions regionally, or even origins of it. Yeah, I nicked myself a little bit there. Trying to talk about New Year's and not paying attention. But if there were ever a shave when it's going to be okay to have nicks, it's going to be this one because of the products we're using. But I was just going to say, it's at least a tradition in our families, my wife's family and my family. And I think it's pretty much certainly, definitely a southern thing, us both being from Alabama originally. Okay, cleaned up some of the extra soap after that first pass. Clean it off the goatee a bit so I can kind of see where we are. Show you that nick there where I got a little too much pressure with the razor. But anyway, everywhere that I've lived, it's been a tradition to eat something green on New Year's, which represents cash. And then the peas represent good luck, I think. It's actually a tradition. Some places my wife's done this a few times, even though I'm a germaphobe and it bothered me a bit. I had to pre-boil the penny, but we put a penny in the peas. We didn't do that this year. Whoever gets the penny in their peas is supposed to have particularly good luck. Okay, so we'll go across the grain with this one. And in 2020, I'm going to try to speed up more of my videos. In other words, sort of fast forward on the second, third, and pickup passes. But as this is the first shave of 2020, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit tonight. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 challenge that I started in the last video, and I'll link in this description, is off to a good start. 2 of the 3 shavers I tagged have made their videos and posted them, and I think the third one is definitely going to do it as well. And 2 that have already posted have already tagged others, and a couple of those have already posted. So I think we've got a total of 5 as I'm recording this shave in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 playlist. So there's a playlist you can see on my channel page, and I'll link it up here if I can. Just a reminder, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is if you could only keep 5 soaps, 4 post shaves or aftershave products, 3 brushes, 2 razors, and 1 blade, what would you do? What would you keep? Okay, I'm gonna go back into the puck here a little bit and load this brush a bit more. I don't think I took enough time to load this one. Plus this boar is still, this is probably just like its 4th use, so it's still not broke in well. Dip the tips just a little bit. Yeah, that'll get us where we need to be. All right, third pass against the grain. Anyway, when my wife was about to start college, I guess it was the New Year's Day before her senior year in high school, her family was eating the traditional New Year's Eve or New Year's Day meal I was mentioning earlier of the black-eyed peas, and they probably had like turnip greens or mustard greens or collards for their greens. Maybe canned spinach, not for sure. Not that which green they had is important. Anyway, her dad is a retired police chief, and he is also a graduate of the FBI Academy, and she applied for an FBI scholarship, and it's basically for people who had graduated from the FBI Academy, their kids to apply for scholarships. And so while they're sitting there on New Year's Day eating their meal, she gets a call to be informed that she was awarded the scholarship. So I think that sort of helped continue to deeply root the tradition for her. All right, it's going to be our pickup pass here. So it's going to be across the grain, but in the other direction. By the way, I have about 4 days worth of growth. Sorry I didn't tell you that earlier. But I can certainly tolerate these 4 passes when I've gone that long between shaves. All right, let me sort of feel around and also look at the goatee here. In need of another trim at the barbershop. The hair. This Maggard's soap has a good enough residual slickness that you can buff here with no problem. Again, when you're, mentioned this in other videos, but when you're feeling for places to pick up, try not to push in on your skin. I mean, that's naturally going to pop out the hairs, much like when you're pulling for shaving. I just like to feel how it is without the pushing in, so that you only get the hairs that are coming above the surface and not popping them up and cutting them off. Now that's how you can get a closer shave, is by pulling the skin. But for me, I find that if the follicles get cut, or the hair shaft gets cut, it can pop back down in the follicle and cause an ingrown hair. So I just try to make sure it's even with the surface, and I'm not worried about popping things up above the surface. All right, we're gonna call that. He said we're gonna call that close enough, and then he kept shaving. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. All right, let's rinse off and we'll get into these post-shave products that I'm excited to use. Okay, even with the, just rinsing off, you can see that those nicks have already kind of closed, half closed it looks. I don't see any blood popping out. These are just areas that it was there before. So as I mentioned at the start of the video, we're using Witch Hazel from Thayers, specifically the medicated version. Sadly, this has been discontinued. And if you actually go to Thayers' website, you'll see a long comment section under the original blog post where they announced they've discontinued this, and they don't really give a good reason why. But man, have people like really pounded them with, please bring it back. But you can buy this in like the Witch Hazel pads, which are not really cost efficient or effective, and I don't know that they'd really be good for post-shave application, but I guess they'd work. But anyway,
I am really sad.
And if I'd known it had been discontinued, I'd have been using it more sparingly. In fact, this was almost in my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 challenge. I almost included this instead of the Sterling Texas on Fire Aloe and Witch Hazel Splash. But see, I've only got a little bit left, and really sad. So if anybody's got any of this and wants to sell it to me, let me know. But anyway, pretty sad about this stuff being gone, but we're going to use some tonight. The thing about these products that we're using tonight, they all have a bit of a medicinal smell like medicine. But they also tend to have sort of a herbaceous, green, grassy, sort of essential oil type scent. Of course, essential oils can be a lot of different scents, but I guess what I'm trying to say is they sort of smell natural and things that you might smell in nature, sort of grassy and those kinds of things. Myrsol actually has an aftershave called Aqua Balsamica that really does smell like grass. More specifically, it smells like rosemary, so it's got a pleasant scent, but it's very, very herbaceous and very green. Tonight we're using the Myrsol Antesol, which is my favorite splash from Myrsol. And what does it smell like? It smells like something that's medicated. And I'll list the ingredients for you here on the screen and in the description. Feels great. No burn after that shave. It's just a really clean scent. And it feels great. Great post-shave feel after using the Maggard soap, but also after the Witch Hazel and then this splash. So I think the reason I like this so much is it just smells clean, and it sort of smells like it's something that should be doing your face good. It reminds me a little bit of the smell of Sea Breeze, if any of you remember that product. I think they still make it, but it smells a little different than, say, it did in the 70s and 80s when I used it. This also just reminds me of my granddad's medicine cabinet in his bathroom where he used to shave. He had a lot of different, post-shaves and different things in his medicine, like first aid in his medicine cabinet. And this kind of reminds me of the way that medicine cabinet smelled. But it reminds me most of like Sea Breeze and other astringents. So Myrsol Antesol, I have tried all the samples. I have not tried, I think the Don Miguel it's called, but I've tried pretty much all the other splashes, and this is by far my favorite splash. The second one is Metasol, which we'll try to do in another shave in the future. It's kind of similar to this. It smells a little bit more like Listerine though. And I know you're probably thinking, well, why would I want a splash that smells like Listerine? But trust me, just the feel of these products after you put them on is amazing. And if you've watched this channel before, you know my love for the Myrsol emulsion. So finally, we're going to use the Proraso White Balm. I always forget what the scents are on this. I have to put it below, but I think it's tea tree and oatmeal. Also very clean scent. I'm telling you, I've been craving this particular shave, and particularly these post-shave products, because it just feels like, you know, you've gone to the barbershop and they've given you a good shave and they've put stuff on there that, as the Q brothers said, just smells like it has to smell, because it smells great. It smells clean, it smells fresh, and man, let me tell you, my skin feels amazing right now. Seriously, I can't tell you how invigorating I find using those like medicinal type products. Like, it just, my face feels alive. It's tingling slightly, but not in a annoying way or in a burning way or even in a cold menthol way, just kind of a fresh air type feeling. Okay, so great shave. Please comment below if you've had any of these products, or there's any products that you like to use that are sort of medicinal, that, you know, just smell like they have to smell. Also, give me ideas that you have for what you'd like to see in the channel this year. If there's any particular things you'd like me to do, I'm going to be getting into some of those top bases very soon, but I wanted to kick off this year with this shave I've been craving. So if you haven't already, check out the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 playlist. I will link it in the description below. Also check the description for descriptions of the products and links to those products. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. But also leave comments, what you liked, what you didn't like. And if you're subscribed already, thank you. And if not, consider subscribing and consider clicking the bell to get notifications when a new video is posted. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.